Good evening. This is your captain speaking. Hey, now y'all know I fucks with ya. All right, I don't fuck with you. I fucks with ya. Okay. So I finished the game. All right. It's done. All right. My first training course is done. Okay. Check this code out. All right. You know what I just peeped? Now, someone can tell me, and you guys can tell me in the comments, um, if the recording, like I was assuming that the recording was looking good. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a nice quality, but I was looking at some of the videos and I was like, the quality's not that good. So if you guys not having good quality video per se, just let me know. And I'll try and figure out how to fix that. Well, I don't know why it was looking like that. It was looking kind of choppy, but it wouldn't let me switch. It wouldn't let me change my output. So I don't know. So, but if it is, just let me know. But it's the code, right? It's not. I'm not gonna say this is the code. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a little bit of something. The course. I mean, it's funny because I feel like I had crazy difficulty, and then I'm gonna tell y'all a lesson I learned from doing this before I show you guys the game. So I think that in most cases, that some people call it tutorial hell, right? Where you watch tutorials and you watch so many tutorials that you only know how to do tutorial stuff, right? And it's very hard to get out of that. And I know that full well because I think for a while, when I first started picking up like 3D modeling, I was in tutorial hell. I was just doing tutorial to tutorial and not really understanding um, how to do stuff, right? And the only thing that broke me out of it, and I've heard people say that you got to do your own stuff. That didn't work for me. So I had to take a step back and understand how um like literally how the 3D stuff worked, right? And when I could understand like how the 3D stuff worked, from a basic, perspective, I could use it and implement it in certain ideas that I had. So it's just like for me, I need an understanding of how something works for me to really grasp it and then utilize it. Because it's like I think what the problem is, and this is just me in particular, it's like my creative mind is like, oh man, I want to do something specific that probably is done before, right? So it forces me to go, oh, let me just go look up a tutorial and figure it out, right? Versus like, oh, I already know how to do that. This is how I can edit it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the basic understanding and stuff. And so with doing this, like, because let me just say, doing this tutorial, I'm not gonna say I didn't pick stuff up, but I'm gonna finish this course. It's a 71-hour course. Now it might be cut in half because when I was looking through the course, I think some of the stuff says not usable. I don't know. So he had named some pieces certain way. Um, but so it might not be like 71 hours. It's probably going to be more like 40 hours. I think it's a 40-hour course. So I'm gonna finish the course, do the games, and I had purchased a few other courses. I'm going to do the courses I paid for because I paid for them. You know what I'm saying? But after doing this first one, I can't necessarily say I picked up. I couldn't. If you asked me to redo this code from scratch without looking at this and just restarting and doing it over again, I couldn't do it. I would have failed the test. You know what I'm saying? I would have definitely failed that test. Some stuff I can see some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I can see stuff. I can recognize it. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't really know how to implement it or put it together correctly because I have zero coding knowledge. I mean, zero, zero. This was the first time I've ever coded something to make something move on the computer. So I have no idea the language is nothing. I'd say, and not even a lot of you. The only time I'm not gonna say this is my first time coding. What I'm gonna say is this is my first time coding a game because the only code that I know how to do was how to turn a website pink. That was it. That was it. Putting text on the internet, like that was it. That's HTML. You feel me? And so that's the extent of this. So when looking at a lot of this stuff, no idea what the fuck I was doing. But again, I mean, the reason I'm gonna say is I'm gonna go through all the courses because I think that I can pick stuff up. I think that's just what's probably going to happen for me. But after a while, I think like when I finish all the courses that I paid for, I think in some way I'm going to take a find a course that tells me like how to code in general, right? Like I think that's just what I'm going to do, just to save me the trouble. I'm going to attempt to make my own stuff. So, and we'll get into that in a second because I wanted to show you guys this. So now that was my only takeaway from this. It was cool. I made my own assets for this one, right? And here's the game. Here, music and all. I mean, so now the only thing, and I don't know if this is a bug, right? I'm not sure if this is like a bug or if I coded my game incorrectly. Um, but when it's game over, when the batteries hit past the ship, it's game over, right? As you can see, the game is supposed to stop, but the music doesn't stop. So I don't know if I coded that incorrectly or not, and you can still hear it. And I closed the game, you can still hear it. So I always have to hit the stop button. So I don't know if I coded that incorrectly somewhere in this. We're not troubleshooting it. I just wanted to get the basics of this stuff done. Um, we'll deal with that another day. If it pops up again, I may take a crack at it to figure out why it's doing what it's doing. But um, I mean, we could look at the RAM. So see, the parameters delta is never used in the function process. See, that doesn't have anything to do with the music. So I don't know. I don't know if I coded that wrong, but that was the game. That was the game. That was our creation. I mean, assets and all. And let me tell you, that shit felt great. That shit felt good. Okay, like I don't know how else to really describe it. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's just such ah man, it was such a thrilling moment. You know what I'm saying? Just to like make my own assets and things like that. And then just recognize like making everything from the ground up. And then it was kind of like I should and now mind you, I have a slight fascination in making like music and stuff like that. It's nothing crazy. Like I've never really made beats or anything like that. Like I'm not gonna say I'm a enthusiast, but it is fun putting together sounds that sound good. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a couple that I've done before, and I would say maybe I've done like five. I think so far, and I'm using GarageBand, dog. Like I'm just using GarageBand, man. And so it's nothing insane, trust me. But I think I've done like maybe five. I said five, 30, maybe 30, test joints or whatnot, just to play around with it and shit like that. And I gotta say, five of them kind of hit. Five of them joints kind of hit. If you were talking like idle game music, like there's oh man, them joints hit so bad. I don't know. I didn't even label them, so they're like mixed in. But I think maybe like another video I might show you guys. I'll figure out how to pull it up and then show you guys. Maybe put it on the computer or something like that, and then so I can just so you guys can hear it. But I'm telling you, it's and I might be gassing myself up. I don't know, but whatever. So, but getting into it, I mean, it's fun. So making the assets, making the sounds, I mean, it's fun. And I'm not an expert or anything like that, but I know the basics, and it's exciting. I just don't get it. It's exciting. So, you know, this sparked something crazy in me. You feel me? And I think that like I'm glad I can share it with you guys. You know what I'm saying? This is sweet. This is crazy, and what I'm doing, and so that's we're gonna get into the we're gonna get to the crazy part, right? So when doing this, right, and again, I'm still gonna do the course, but I think that while doing the course, I think I'm gonna start working on my own mobile games. So I think to talk about to talk about trajectory, right? To talk about where I want to go with this and like what path, right? Because again, you guys know, like it's not. I'm not trying to be a game designer. Like, I'm not trying to get into the industry, right? So, like, I'm not really interested in, like, learn how to code games for a living, right? But I do like the undertaking as like a hobby. You know what I mean? Like I think it's fun just like making your own stuff, right? Because I mean, at heart, I'm a business guy at heart. You know what I'm saying? So all we're doing, everything is being done for the project, right? But I know there's people out here who are better than me. Okay, like I know there's people who can code better. I know there's people who can do better art. I know there's people who this is what they do. We're gonna bring those people on because I want to give you guys the best product possible. You feel what I'm saying? But for now, you got me. So even with all the artwork and everything like that, like it's cool. But I definitely want to pass the torch. You know what I'm saying, to the experts when we kind of get to that point. So I always look at this in the business perspective. But if we're talking just like me, really just kind of keeping this as a hobby because I just enjoy it. It's like how would I navigate that, right? And so I do have, mind you, don't if you guys seen the website, you feel me? I don't even know if I ever plugged in the website. I don't think I've ever plugged the website in. I'm going to plug it into this video so you guys can check that out. But the website officially, okay, officially, the first game we're gonna do is Hunter. We talked about it a couple times. The first game we're gonna do is Hunter, right? Platformer, Risk of Rain type. You feel me? A Risk of Rain slash Dead Cells, hybrid kind of game. You feel me? Like definitely make it a rogue dungeon crawler, right? And so that is the first game. Okay. Second game, it's probably after consideration and just kind of experiencing like coding for the first time. It was going to be Voyager Cities, which if you guys have seen me make the maps and things like that, it was supposed to be Voyager Cities. I don't mean to disappoint you, but I also don't want to make y'all wait forever for shit. And the scale of what that needs to be coded at much higher because even let me just tell you, even Hunter itself is a massive undertaking like that. Looking at this, I'm like, oh yeah, I have my work cut out for me. Like this might take a while. Like I'm thinking I want to be able to produce something that's going to take me in like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like still good quality shit, but like not that long, just so you guys can kind of fill some stuff out. So that's not going to be hunted. That is not going to be hunted, dog, at all. We're really looking at. I couldn't even give it a time frame because I haven't really got into the notion of really digging through, um, like coding. Like I don't even have a full grasp on this, so I couldn't even tell you how long it is. It's going to take, So to scratch all of that, you feel me? What I decided was the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to focus on creating mobile apps, right? So games that you can kind of play mobile that are simple enough that I can code, but are complex enough that you guys, they're not it's not like brain rot games. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how I'll do it. I don't know what games those are, but that essentially is what I intend to do. You feel me? And so I don't know exactly, and I'm going to show you guys some stuff right now along with what I was doing up here. So I'm just going to open up my pad today. And let me tell y'all, we I made a big purchase. Okay, I think I told you I told you a little bit. I told you a little bit well, I told you a little bit. I told you a bit. I'm going to be working on. So I'm gonna learn how to draw. This is another thing you guys want to watch me do. Oh my God, you guys are watching me grow. When I can get it down. I'm gonna learn how to draw 2D drawing. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning in Procreate. If anyone was curious, maybe not, but yeah, you feel me. I'm gonna learn in Procreate. I'm going to when I get it down, I'm gonna start publishing my own comics. I hope you guys will read them. I hope you guys will bang with them. This also, I'm gonna make another video about it because it's gonna be I'm gonna explain my publishing process in the video. It's gonna be a call to arms type, okay? Because the exposure is gonna be there, and I was like, bro, we're gonna go 50-50 on this shit. Okay, we're gonna go 50-50. Okay, the exposure, I think 50-50 is cool. I really think 50-50 is cool. It just depends, I guess. Because I'm saying 50-50 now because I don't know what the cost of marketing shit will be. But we'll talk about it. I feel like we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like doing stuff. I don't like doing stuff that I don't like doing stuff that I don't feel like is like, or I don't like promoting stuff that I don't feel like is ready, right? And this YouTube is just me doing stuff. You guys are just watching, they're watching me just kind of like scale the stuff up, right? And so I haven't talked about this whole publishing thing too much because there's two things we don't have: the audience and the knowledge. Okay, we don't have, those are two things we don't have, right? And so I was like, nah, we can't step in the ring and don't have those two things. Like, we're gonna be working for free forever. Oh my God, no, right? And so, I dug my feet down, and it was a choice. It's like learn the knowledge or build the audience, and I absolutely chose to build the audience. I said, I went I went deep into that. You know what I'm saying? And because I feel like knowledge will come. You know what I'm saying? Even with experience and things like that. Like, experience can be the best teacher. You feel me? But again, knowledge will come. But the audience is not going to be waiting forever, right? And so I spent my time growing the audience. I've showed you guys before. We're about to hit 10K. Okay, we're creeping on 10K. I'm telling you, we're going to probably hit 15K by December. I'm going to stamp that right now. But with that ever growing, right? It's like we have the exposure to do fun stuff. Like, that's what this is supposed to be. Like, this is supposed to be fun, which is why I kind of which makes me say the 50-50, right? It makes me say the 50-50 because I'm like, if we do 50-50, and I mean, only you bringing your talents, I'm bringing my talents, and we just combining, right? And then we shouldn't be spending no money. I mean, because we really shouldn't be spending no money or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my, if we're not spending no money, I'm saying 50-50. Now, if I gotta spend money again, I don't know how important it is to pay for marketing and shit like that. Right, I just don't know how important that is. So we'll figure it out, right? I was going to use myself as an example first, so I was going to publish my own comics and do all this other stuff on my own and just see how much this it costs, and then we'll figure it out, right? But if we ain't got to spend no money, 50-50, baby. Let's get this money. Just really, let's do it. So, it's just that was another thing. Again, I talked too much about that. I'm gonna make another video about that. Don't stick around, right? But stick around for this. So, with that being said, with everything that I've already said, right? One thing I've been working on is the next game. So I'm going to try and do a zombie survivors. I think it's just a really good genre, I think, to test out my mobility skill, right? In terms of like being creative with code and things like that. You know what I mean? And like making characters and enemies and things like that. Like, really just kind of digging in and just kind of figuring out the basis, because I think that with a zombie survivors type game, right, I can always expand it, right? So it's kind of like if I got one character and maybe three or four enemies and some weapons, that's a launchable game. You feel me? And then you have the correct mechanics and stuff picked on, it's a launchable game. And then as I start learning more stuff, I can add to it, add more enemies, add more props, add more weapons, change the maps. So many things I can add to it. I can always grow. So I think in terms of like simple games, that might be the vibe, right? I wanted to ask you guys questions, right? So I'm trying to pick like characters and stuff like that. I'm gonna show you some other characters too. I haven't transferred them to my computer yet, so they're still on the iPad, right? Um, this is one. Oops. So this is a character right here. I hope you guys can see that. I might transfer him in a second, but just didn't do it for the video because I didn't think I was honestly going to show you. This is another one I did too. Hope that kind of chinks up. All right. So those are two characters that was kind of working on maybe different styles or whatnot. Um, I mean, I'm not going to do that during the video. That's insane. I'm sorry. It's ADHD talking right real quick. I was about to pause the video to export them and pull them. ADHD be talking sometimes. But so I was working on more characters and things like that, just kind of seeing. And these, mind you, these are also 16 by 16. These characters are 32 by 32. I think 32 by 32 might be better because they have more space to kind of work with. And then 16 by 16 can be like certain enemies and stuff. 16 by 16, 32 by 32, and 64 by 64 can be enemies and bosses and stuff like that. And maybe 8 by, and I think like 8 by 8s can be like the weapons and stuff like that because I do have a file. I have a file for because even these weapons would be too big. These weapons would be way too big because oh no, yeah, these weapons would be way too big because these are for well, not really. These characters are for these are for our characters and those characters are 32 by 32. So um yeah, it might these might be a good size. We can probably introduce some of these weapons. Um in here. I think I'll probably test these out on stream. To be honest, I'll probably play around with this on stream. So if you guys want to check the stream out, I'm streaming tonight. If you guys want, to, probably streaming for a couple hours too. So if you want to jump in there, we'll test this out. We'll go from there. But that's the next mission. This is the next mission. So I'm gonna stream it. I'll stream sometimes when I do the coding course. But I think for the most part, I'll just be streaming, just making the Vampire Safari game. And I think there's a course that I've seen that I probably take. Um, that's going to tell me how to make the basic one. And then once I get the basics one down, we can record more. And so I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to do. You feel me? But this was a let me not speak too much because I just feel like I was not supposed to make the video this long. This is supposed to just be a hey, we finished the video or video game video. You know what I'm saying? I talk a lot, which y'all know that by now. So I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it right there on the mark. No more than 25. But I'll probably upload a few videos today. Again, talking about the collaboration. So this is gonna be the calling post. And so we'll see how that goes. And then, well, I'm not gonna see how I'm gonna make the video, but I'll probably make another video, kind of like talking a little bit more about this new game that I'm probably gonna do. Tell you the parameters in detail, what it's gonna be like. See what you guys think about that. And outside of that, that's it. That's it. That's all. So outside of that, again, I think that I say this in every video. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. I know it's not everyone, but I appreciate you guys. You guys are definitely right here. You feel me? That's my shoulder, but y'all know where you're supposed to be. Y'all in there. You feel me? Uh, I couldn't have done this without you guys. I just feel like, this has been, a journey. If that really. So it's been a couple weeks. I mean, even man, I talk about this all the time, man. I make these videos for myself to see their own pressure, but I'm glad I can make videos that you guys can watch. And I think that like even from this video, tracking all the way back to a couple weeks ago when I made the first video, it's kind of like man, it's just a guy with a dream, and so it's just kind of like it's really a blast to the past. So this is always fun. This is great. I can't wait to show you guys some more crazy work. So without further ado. This is your captain signing out.